we use can, could, and may to make a request. Now, what is a request? A request is asking someone if they can do something for us. For example, can I have a pen? Or can I have an apple? Now, you can also add the word please to your sentence to make it more polite or more formal. Can I have a pen, please? Can I have an apple, please? Now, you've learned what a request is. Let us see how to use the words can, could, and may to make a request. Now, let's look at can. We use can in informal situations, like when you're talking to your friend or your family. For example, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Or, can you open the window? Can you open the window? Next, let's look at could. We use could in semi-formal situations, like when you're talking to a colleague or somebody you work with. So you say, could I have a minute? Could I have a minute? Or, could I use your phone? Could I use your phone? Now you can also add please to your sentence to make it sound more polite. Now, the third way of making a request is by using may. Now, may is used in very formal situations, like if you're talking to your boss or a client or your manager, or even if you're at an interview. So let's look at how to use may. May I speak to the manager? If you want to speak to a higher authority, you always use may. May I help you? Now this is a common phrase that you would have heard if you talk to any customer service or somebody who wants to help you. They would say, may I help you? So now we've learned how to use the words can, could, and may to make requests. We use can in informal situations, we use could in semi-formal situations, and we use may in very formal situations. Now, let us try a few exercises. I want you to read these sentences and fill in the blanks with can, could, or may, depending on the formality and the politeness required in the sentence. Let's start. The first question, blank you pass the magazine. Now let's look at the situation. Let us say you're sitting in the hall, you're talking to your brother. He is sitting next to a magazine. You want to ask him to pass the magazine to you. How would you ask him? Would you use can? Would you use could or may? Since you are talking to your brother, you can always say can. So, can you pass the magazine? Let us look at the next sentence. Blank I submit the report on Monday. Let's say you're talking to your boss. You have a report to submit and you want to submit it a little later than the deadline. So you want to be really polite and formal since you are talking to your boss. And you're also asking for an extension on your deadline. So here, since it is a very formal situation, it is right to use the word may. So, may I submit the report on Monday? The next question, blank I have a coffee. In this case, you can be at your favorite coffee shop or at Starbucks. You want to ask the person for a coffee. How would you ask them? Which would be the most nicest way to ask for it? Would you use can, could, or may? It's perfectly okay to use can, but since you're asking someone for a service, you could be a little more polite. So we can say could. Could I have a coffee? So this is a little polite. Let's move to the next question. Blank I come in. Now the situation for this question is an interview. Let's say you're waiting outside the room very expectantly to have your interview. You want to open the door and walk in. Here you need to ask permission before you enter the room. So you would say, what would you say? Would you say can, could or may? You would say may. Since it is a very formal situation and you're trying to make a really good first impression to the company and you want to get hired, you would have to be very polite. So you would say may. May I come in? We've come to the last question. Blank we be friends? Let's say you're out somewhere and you meet someone new and you want to be their friend. How would you ask them to be your friend? Would you say can, could or may? Since a friend is someone you share a very informal relationship, you can absolutely say can. So you can say, can we be friends? So in this video, we've learned the different ways in which we can make requests. We can choose to use can, could or may depending on the politeness and formality of the situation. Now, it's time for a small listening activity. I want you to listen to the dialogue and answer the questions.
May I come in?
Yes, Alice, you may.
You asked to see me?
You are very late to work. May I know why?
I'm sorry. I was stuck in traffic.
This isn't the first time you are late. If this goes on, you may have to look for another job.
Please, give me one more chance.
Alright, I will give you one last chance.
Thank you, ma'am. I promise to reach by 9 a.m. daily.
Good. Here is a document. Could you give it to Sam in the sales department?
I surely can.
Thank you. You can get back to work now.
Now that you've listened to the dialogue, I'm going to ask you some questions. The first question. What did Alice leave the room with? What did Alice leave the room with? Now when Alice left the room, she took something in her hand. What was it? Think. The right answer is a document. So when Alice left the room, she took a document with her. Was Alice late because of the traffic? Now if you listen to the dialogue, you'll know that her manager was upset with her because she came late. Was she late because of the traffic? Yes, Alice was late to work because of the traffic. The third question. What time does Alice promise to come to the office? What do you think is the answer? So after speaking to the manager, Alice promises to come to the office by 9 a.m. The next question. Does the manager excuse Alice for being late? So Alice comes late. Does the manager excuse her and give her another chance? Yes, the manager definitely gives Alice another chance. Who should the document be given to? So when Alice leaves, the manager gives her a document and asks her to give it to somebody. Who should Alice give the document to? The right answer is Sam. The manager asks Alice to give the document to Sam. Did you score a 5 on 5? It was easy, wasn't it? That's all for today. I will see you really soon. Bye for now.